Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 133 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. Now, 133 is a semi-prime, the product of two prime numbers, namely 7 and 19. Today, we're going to discuss two Pro Tour events, the Philippines Open and the upcoming Australian Open. In the questions, we'll talk about forehand top spins, relaxing while playing, seamless table tennis balls, how to disguise your topspin serve, and much, much more. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and yes, good to be back. You had a few days away, so yeah, nice to be back on the show.
Indeed, yes. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I was in Adelaide doing some coaching with our national para squad, some of our national para squad members from South Australia and Western Australia, and yeah, one guy, Connor Johnston, comes over all the way from Western Australia to South Australia. It mightn't sound like it's very far to you guys over there, but I think it's a 3.5-hour plane trip or something ridiculous like that. So
yeah,
yes.
It's a lot of kilometres, isn't it, Alois?
It is. Certainly not afternoon drive.
Okay, yeah. Well, Alois, went to a cube competition on the weekend and solved some Rubik's Cubes. Got a new PB average of 43 seconds. So I was pretty happy with that.
Like it.
And it's a pity this show wasn't show 24587 number, because that's how many people have solved the Rubik's Cube faster than me in competitions. 24,587.
Oh, I thought it was just the 24.
No, that's a lot of people that have solved it faster than me, isn't it? Anyway, I'm working on it.
Yeah, you got to keep working on it, Jeffrey. It's just a matter of time. And remember, Jeff, the good days will come.
I love your enthusiasm there, Alois. But it's an interesting concept, isn't it? At, older people at my age, 40, am I able to, pick up a skill like that and improve and get better as much as the younger kids? Do you think that's possible, or is age actually a barrier?
I reckon Felix has got you covered personally, but but your son, how old's he, Jeffrey?
7.
7, and I reckon his rate of improvement has been pretty fast, hasn't it? So what's his average now, or what's his best?
Oh, well, his best is at the competition is 104, but he's done a 101 at home, so 1 minute 1 second, and at the competition he just got a 1 minute 15 average.
Wowee! So yeah, so like there's definitely fast improvement there. Do you reckon it's faster than yours? I mean,
yes.
It's hard to say because
I've practiced a lot more than he has, and he has improved, a lot quicker than I did.
Yeah, so it probably does show us something, doesn't it? It's plasticity of the brain of the young kids. Probably got something to it.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, I will keep working on it and see if I can get better. And I guess, people out there with table tennis, keep working on it and you will get better. That's
right. And, just got to stay ahead of that kid, Jeff.
Indeed, I got to stay ahead of him. Can't let him beat me. I think it might be a losing battle, but anyway. So, yeah, we've got a big show lined up, Alois. First up, let's talk about some Pro Tour events that have been on. The Philippines Open has just completed.
Yeah, the Philippines Open finished on the weekend. So the men's, Jung Young Sik, the Korean player, lost in the final to a not highly rated Japanese guy, Oshima. So so Yuya Oshima won 4-0 in the final. I mean, some close games, but certainly a big win for Oshima. And in the women's, some more well-known names. So the two Japanese players facing off in the final, and Ishikawa beating Ai Fukuhara in the final 4-2. So the exciting thing for me out of that is that all of those players are coming to the Australian Open this week. And the Australian Open group matches starting, they start tomorrow? No, the day after, on the 3rd. So they start on the 3rd of June, on Wednesday. And Jeff and I are lucky enough to be going up and doing the commentary on the last day for the finals on the Sunday as well. So, yeah, so hopefully we get to see all of those guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Alois. It's going to be very exciting to have some of the top players in the world back in Australia again. So, yeah, going to be some exciting table tennis, and we'll be, commentating like you said. So keep an eye out. We'll let you know where you can listen to us talk more about these games.
Yeah, so like just having a look at the qualifying groups, players like Wu Zhikeng, the Singapore player who we saw last year, and Sumyajit Ghosh from India, both in the qualification rounds, along with Cedric Neutink. Neutink actually just won the men's doubles at the Philippines Open. So, yeah, some good names coming out for the Australian Open. Really looking forward to that.
Excellent. All right. Now, Alois, the not yesterday's, the last PingSkills question of the day was, what is the single most important muscle for table tennis?
Yeah, well, for me, it's the legs. Like a lot of people think about, the wrist and the arms and that sort of thing, but I reckon the legs are so important, and probably your quads. These ones here, I reckon they're the most important muscle, because they're what really give you a good base and allow you to propel yourself and to generate the power for your strokes. So for me, that is the real important factor, the quads in your legs. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, I'll go along with that. That sounds like a good answer. You need to have strong legs for good balance and for good footwork. So yeah, it's pretty important. We had a lot of
if you look at all the top players and if you look at their physique, their legs is the thing that really stands out. Their quads are the things that really stand out. So you'll notice their upper body development isn't all that great, but if you have a look at their legs, always strong.
Indeed, yeah. So again, we got a lot of responses on the Facebook page about the PingSkills question of the day, and quite a lot of people said the brain, Alois.
Yes. A few people did say the brain.
Is that a muscle?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not an anatomist and something. I'm not smart.
Yes. Anyway, thanks for all your responses. And that, Alois, moves us on to the PingSkills question for today. And it is a good one. It is, who has the better backhand, Ma Long or Wang Hao? So, two contrasting styles there, with Wang Hao using the reverse penhold backhand. And, the first time I ever saw him play that backhand, I thought he was a shakehand player, Alois.
Yeah, he whips through on it so quickly, doesn't he? So he's playing with a penhold grip, and you just hear it. He just bang, bang, bang. Yeah, it's really hard to see what he's doing the first time you see it. And he was one of the first players to actually use the reverse penhold grip or the reverse penhold backhand. So it was like, whoa, what is that? When we first saw it.
Yep. So to answer that question, you can go onto our Facebook page at facebook.com/PingSkills, go onto our YouTube channel, or go to our website and sign up for a free account. And by doing that, you'll get access to our newsletter as well. And then you'll be able to ask the coach any questions. You'll be able to comment on questions and comment on the blog. And that's where you'll find this PingSkills question of the day. So go to pingskills.com, sign up for your free account and get involved. We'd love to hear from you. All right. We've got quite a few people, Alois, who have jumped on and used the Q&A app on our Google Plus page to ask us questions live on the show. And we love the live questions. So if you want to do that, you just, visit our website again. Go down the bottom, you'll see our little Google Plus icon. Click on that, and you'll see our show, and click on the little Q&A button to ask us a question. First up, Connor Alois has said, "Hi, guys. Who do you believe has the best footwork in the world at the moment?"
Well, I was just talking about Connor Johnston. He's the guy from Perth who came over to South Australia. So welcome, Connor. Connor, apart from you, of course, probably Zhu Xin. Like Zhu Xin's forehand footwork is just mind-blowing. I mean, he just moves so well. And, there we were talking about the leg strength earlier. Have a look at his quads and the development in his quads and just how fast he can move. So, I mean, because he's a pen holder, he tends to play a lot of forehands and basically plays forehands from all over the table. And, when you're playing against your Zhang Jikers and Ma Longs, you have to be able to move fast to be able to cover the whole table with your forehand. So for me, Zhu Xin, like at the moment, is just, I'm probably way ahead in the footwork department.
Yeah, he was the one that came straight to the top of my mind too, Alois. I mean, he can pivot and play a forehand from his backhand, get pushed out wide, play a forehand, and then they'll go back sort of to his backhand side, and somehow he's back there playing another forehand, and you're like, that's just not possible. So, I mean, if you've never seen Zhu Xin play, put it into Google, Zhu Xin, have a look at his footwork. It is unbelievable. All right.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Next question is from Noel, who says, "Hello, coaches. I know I'm playing too much. I had acute back pain a few days ago, and I think it's because of picking up those ping pong balls. Do you have any exercises or tips to remedy the situation?"
Yes, get yourself a ball picker-upper. Get yourself, like they're pretty simple to make. We might just put a link on a picture of it or something. Or there's also the My Ping Pong Buddy, which I tend to use now, and they're really simple and easy to use as well. So I went through the years and years of picking up table tennis balls, and when we trained in the academy, I remember the hours and hours of picking up table tennis balls. Get yourself one of those ball picker-uppers of some sort, and it'll just save you back. Yeah, just do it. It's worth it.
Great tip, Alois. And as far as, remedying your back, probably best to see a specialist. I mean, Alois and I aren't doctors, and, the back's a very tricky thing, so you do want to get it right. So, Noel, maybe just go see a specialist and see if he's got some tips for you. And then get that ball picker-upper to save you back in the future. All right. Now, Johan says, "Do you think the pendulum serve became so popular because it was easy to hide the contact point compared to, for example, the backhand serve?"
That would certainly be one factor, but the pendulum serve also allows you to use your wrist really easily compared to the backhand serve. So the backhand serve, you really have to alter your grip to be able to use your wrist. Same with the tomahawk serve. The pendulum serve is just easier for generating a lot of spin by utilizing your wrist. So I think that's probably one of the main reasons that the serve became popular. It certainly was also easy to hide the ball behind your body when you were doing it in the days when you were allowed to do that, of course.
Yeah, so now you're not allowed to hide that behind the pendulum serve behind your body. And I think I would just get a feeling that the backhand serve and the tomahawk serve have made a bit of a comeback because of that rule change. Is that your thoughts?
They've certainly made a comeback, but I don't know necessarily that it's because of the rule change. I think the pendulum serve was becoming so common that like everyone was doing it. So everyone was getting good at returning it as well. And I think, just even a weaker backhand serve or a weaker pendulum or a tomahawk serve can be more troublesome to a lot of opponents because they just haven't played against it as much. So, yeah, I think that's the main reason.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, very good. All right, now Brock Alois, he says, I have trouble with my forehand topspin because I always have a feeling I will hit the table with my bat. Do you know some tips?
Yeah, that's a hard one, isn't it? So what Brock's talking about there is, the ball that just comes off the edge of the table, and you come up and you're worried about hitting the table or the ball because the ball's just dropping off the end of the table on the second bounce. Firstly, watch the ball carefully. Secondly, really track the ball as it's coming out to you. So if you're tracking the ball as it's coming out to you, it's a little bit easier to judge whether it's going to be short or long. If it's short, you can push it or you can flick it. If it's long, then you can drop your bat below the table and make the topspin. Always an awkward one. And try to practice it as much as you can. Multi-ball's a good way of practicing it. So get someone to just keep feeding the ball to you where that second bounce is just off the end of the table or sometimes short, and just get practice in actually judging whether that ball's going short or long. And then secondly, when the ball is going long, just reacting appropriately and making that topspin off that ball that's just dropping off the end of the table.
Yeah, good tips there, Alois. And, that judgment about making sure the ball is coming long before you play a forehand topspin is really good advice. I remember, and I think I may have talked about this on the show before, the first Australian Championships I went to, I was representing ACT. I think you were actually, this is the Junior Championships, I think you were coaching the Victorian team, Alois, again while I was playing. And I thought this ball was coming long, and I went to do this big forehand topspin, but it wasn't coming long, and my bat in my hand hit the edge of the table. The bat went flying, and I cut open my fingers, and blood was everywhere. It was not a pretty sight.
I reckon it was 1989, and I reckon it was table 18 or 19.
Yes, that sounds right. Yes. So
old Albert Park Stadium.
Yes, the old Albert Park Stadium. So make sure you judge the ball well. You don't want to do what I did. I think I've still got a few little scars just on the end of my hand from that, Alois. All right. Now we have a question from Abbas Alois, who says, I have a problem with kid who always serves fast and short balls to the corners of the table. If I go to the right corner, he serves to the left corner. If I go to the left, well, you know what happens.
Yeah, so Abbas, the real key here is watching that ball from the point of time that he has the ball on his hand and he's ready to serve. So you've got to watch that ball carefully. If there's a label on it, try to pick up the label, or just pick up anything that you can see on the ball when the ball's actually in his hand. If you're watching it that intently, then you're going to get the best information as to which direction the ball is coming. If you're only half watching it and you're worrying about other things, then you don't pick up those really early cues, and you might start heading in the wrong direction when he's serving. So there's no real tricks. Watching the ball is absolutely crucial. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. And I guess, being in a good position to return the serve is also important, Alois, like having a good basic stance, because that gives you a stable balance to move fast if it does go to the corners.
Yeah, the basic stance is important. Yeah, Jeff, absolutely, you're right. So making sure that you're nice and balanced, have your feet nice and wide apart, get your knees bent, stay down as low as you can, and that will help you firstly to be stable and to be able to move in either direction, and will help you to return the ball as well. Yep.
Excellent. All right, Abbas. So hopefully those tips help you out and you can start returning those serves against this kid. All right, let's move on to the next question from Wrexham, who says, when drilling in table tennis, I tend to become so stiff. How do I relax? Also, I can't hit the ball on the rise, and how do I hit the ball with the best timing?
All right, so two things there, Wrexham. So firstly, how do you relax? Well, the first thing is, and you've obviously recognised this, the first thing and the most important thing is to recognize that you're tightening up. Next thing is to think about where you're tightening up. So often tightness comes in the shoulder or the elbow joint or the wrist or the fingers. You might start gripping the bat a little bit too tightly. So just relax your fingers. Try to see if your elbow's tight, your shoulder's tight, whatever, and then just put a bit of focus on that and try to see if you can keep that relaxed during your shot. One good way of doing it is to just, if you feel something tighten, so if you feel this is tight, absolutely tighten it and then relax it, and just feel the difference between having it really tight and relaxed. So that might be a nice little tip for you. The other one about hitting the ball on the rise, it's quite a difficult stroke, isn't it? Because the ball is still moving quite fast. It's rising up, and you need to contact the ball exactly at the right time. The first thing is to make sure you're in a good position. So stay nice and close to the table, or move yourself close to the table and in a balanced position. I often see people trying to make this shot when they're out there and stretching for it. So that's just not going to work. You just need to be nice and close to the ball, and then give yourself the best chance at getting that timing right. There's no real easy tips with the timing apart from practicing, and also perhaps just listening to the ball. If you listen to the ball as it's coming up off the table and as they're hitting it, that will help you with the timing a little bit as well.
Indeed. All right, now Powell's just jumped on, Alois, to Google Plus and has asked a couple of questions. So there's really two in one. He says, when I hit the fastest ball, they can still catch it. Or I think he means return it. And he says also, how do I make the ball spin very fast and powerful?
Powell. So firstly, to think about hitting the ball with a lot of spin, you need to brush the ball on contact. So by brushing the ball on contact, I'll just try and get the label in the right position for you to see. By brushing the ball on contact, you can see the ball starting to spin around. So that's the first thing. The second thing is then to brush the ball faster. If you brush the ball faster, then the ball is going to also spin faster. So that's the key with actually getting more spin on the ball. If you're thinking about making a powerful stroke, then the spin that you're looking for is topspin. By getting topspin, the ball is going to dip down onto the table quickly, and so therefore you can hit the ball a lot faster. If you hit the ball flat and fast, the ball is just going to keep sailing and head off over the end of the table. So spinning the ball with topspin and fast is going to get the ball dipping down quickly, and you'll get much more success with that sort of stroke, the fast topspin.
Good advice. And then for the fact that even when he hits it hard, they still get it back, I guess, you're obviously playing against quite a good player if they can return your fast shots. But table tennis isn't all about just hitting the ball fast all the time, is it, Alois?
No, variation's really important. So if someone's coping with your fast shots, try to hit the ball a bit slower with a little bit more spin or less spin, and slower and faster. And just variation is really important. If you just keep hitting the ball fast, eventually the other person is going to be able to get onto the speed of the ball and be able to control that. So think about variation, really important key.
Good point. And that brings us on to another question, Alois, from Pragya, who is thinking about variation. Because Pragya wants to know, does the action for the forehand topspin remain the same while hitting the ball parallel to the table, as in straight? So I think he's talking about hitting the ball in different directions here. Is that right, Alois?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Pragya, so if you're trying to hit the ball cross court or down the line, first important thing is to make sure that the stroke remains the same. So you're still playing the same stroke. So how do you change the direction then? So if I want to hit the ball cross court, I can just hit the ball a little bit earlier. So if I'm hitting the ball earlier, my bat is at that point, and that's where the ball's going to go. If I hit the ball a little bit later, then that's where my bat's facing and the ball's going to go down the line. So here the ball's going to go down the line. Here, the contact is going to send the ball cross court. So that's one way. The other thing that you can do is, again, have the same stroke, but just change the angle of your wrist slightly. So one, I'm going to turn the angle in and hit the ball over there. Or two, I can turn the angle out and hit the ball down the line. The stroke will still look the same. So we're still doing this, but one will have the open wrist, one will have the closed wrist. So that's a good way of thinking about playing the ball to different directions.
Yeah, indeed. And I think, Alice, we have some videos on this exact topic. So I'm going to try and find those videos. And if I can, I'll put them in the show notes so everyone can have a look at those videos and see what you've just described in action. All right. Next question is from Joseph, who says, anyone has the idea how seamless balls are produced? If balls have a seam, it is simple, but without a seam, not so simple. Do you know anything about this, Alois?
I know nothing at all. So it would be really interesting if any of the PingSkills know about the manufacturing process. So it's hard to see there, but that ball has a seam. Where is it? Hard to see. Anyway, so yeah, with the balls with a seam, basically they make it in two halves and stick it together. But with the seamless ones, that is really interesting, isn't it? I wonder how they do it. Be really interesting to see.
Yep. If you know, let us know. We'd love to find out. All right. Johnny has a question, Alice. He says, how would you do a topspin serve? And what are some types of topspin serves? Right now, I just hit the ball like I would with the forehand topspin, which is pretty obvious. Is there some other way with more deception?
Yes. Good, Johnny. So so what Johnny's talking about is at the moment he just does this. So that's his topspin serve. So it becomes very obvious to your opponent that there's topspin on the ball. And it's hard to play that serve fast enough to make it really challenging for your opponent. So what we need to do is, with all of our serves that we do, we need to add an element of topspin into it. So, for example, with the tomahawk serve, you're starting with your bat there and going up and down. So that's the action for the tomahawk serve. If you hit the ball late in the swing, when the bat's on the way down, you're going to get backspin. If you hit the ball early in the swing, though, here, when the bat's going up, then you're going to get topspin. So if you think about that basic principle, that can apply to all of your serves. So with the backhand serve, going down, going up. With the tomahawk serve, going up, going down. With the pendulum serve, going down, going up. So yeah, that's the basic principle. And we've got really detailed video on this in our serving secrets. And in each component of each different type of serve, we show you the different spins that you can do with those serves. You know, how to get the best side spin, top spin, back spin on those serves.
We do indeed, Alois, and that is part of our premium membership. So if you really want to improve your table tennis, go to pingskills.com and check out our premium membership. Those service ones are really good. And Alois, I'm still editing the latest one where we've redone the pendulum serve one in HD. So that's going to come out in the next couple of weeks. So premium members, look out for that video. Well, Alois, that wraps up the show. All the questions are out of the way. Just wanted to finish with another little story from my cubing competition, Alois, related to my age. I was solving the cube and I finished, and the judge was a kid about 12 years old, and he looked at me. He goes, have you been to many comps? I go, oh, you know, this is my third one. He goes, well, you're actually pretty good, especially for a dad.
Oh, poor Jeffrey. How'd you feel, Jeffrey?
And I was really nervous at this competition for some reason, Alois. I'm going to have to, you know, take a look at our sports psychology videos that we've got on our website and see if I can utilize them for my cubing. Because, yeah, I was really nervous at this competition.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's good that you sort of feel that, and yeah, you might be able to give us some really good experiences of how you can deal with it. You know, just taking time, breathing, thinking about what you need to do, or just blanking the mind out, because you basically already know what to do, right? So it's just
exactly. And I think like I'm one of the slowest cubers there, so the pressure is not that, you know, I might win, because I'm not going to, right? I'm not good enough to do that, but it's really just the expectation on myself that I want to do my best that seems to be putting that pressure on me, which is kind of silly because, you know, there's no expectation at all. So I should learn to just, you know, like you said, just, you know, take it easy, relax, blank the mind out, and just do what I've got to do.
Yeah, but you're competitive though, Jeff, right? And you just want to do your best. You want to be your best. That's good. It's a good challenge. I like it.
Indeed. So for my next cube comp, I'm going to work on that and see if I can, you know, be more relaxed going into the cube, or, you know, less nervous, and just, you know, perform, just add my best.
You need me there for your practice sessions, Jeffrey. So I'm sure when I was heckling you and hassling you during your practice sessions, you performed pretty well. So we need a heckler.
Okay, indeed. All right, well, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you check out our website, pingskills.com, and if you get nervous playing table tennis like I got nervous doing the cubing, check out our sports psychology section. And we will see you tomorrow for another big show. Thank you, Alois.
Thanks, Jeffrey, and thanks PingSkills for getting on and asking all those questions. Great job.